They finally got their goal, but they don't win the group, Ash.
In the script, I think most people thought France would run away with this, with Poland having not a lot to play for. Always a chance, like we said before the game, for Poland to assert themselves, and they were good value. I think France were nowhere near the best. You know, the team sheet came out, we praised how much pace they had on the side, how attacking they could be with that PSG front three. And, you know, they started to grow into the game towards the end of the first half, and you thought, yep, second half start, they're going to blow them away. And it didn't happen. So, you know, questions to be asked for France, and, you know, they'll have to come up with something better than that if they are going to be serious contenders.
Really nice scenes here, Mark. Poland, obviously, the end of their time, but they'll be proud of that display, and obviously they do go out. Maybe the end of some of those champion players, Lewandowski potentially one, but they go out with their heads held high.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect anything of them, and they, you know, they come out and gave a good showing, didn't they? You know, and France, not great today. I mean, they had lots of opportunities first half, couldn't put them away. Obviously got the penalty, but concede the way they did, it's not great, and it doesn't all go well for them going forward, does it?
Well, here's the moment. So it was the first of two penalties here, but there's the foul, the penalty eventually converted by Mbappe. You're right, Mark, that not at their best, but this is an important moment. Mbappe finally does get his goal, but again, they still have a lot more to do. Only a goal from the penalty spot, still no goal from open play.
Yeah, the big positive was obviously Mbappe getting 90 minutes under his belt again, but other than that, Deschamps will be scratching his head. You know, they'll have to go and do some sort of finishing schooling over the next couple of days, because they did have the opportunities to make this game an easy game for themselves, but unfortunately they couldn't hit the back of the net.
It's thrown a spanner in the works when we talk permutations. I'm very excited to talk about that, but we'll bring you that shortly, because there was a goal in this match for Poland as well, and they did get their goal. Lewandowski did have his moment. It was an interesting moment because it was a penalty that had to be retaken as well.
Yeah, it was an interesting style of penalty taking, or execution, should I say. Lewandowski with his hop, skip and a pause and a jump, whatever you want to say, and goes to the side. Mangan reads it well, but unfortunately for him, he just hesitated off his line, which was probably something to do with the run-up and the taking of it, and it had to be retaken. And then just when you think Lewandowski's not going to do that, scrap that technique, he does it again and manages to, this time, squeak it inside their near post.
Well, let's take a look at that incident, because that was our play of the day.
Lewandowski for Poland. Oh, it's saved! Not enough on that penalty kick at all. Maignan guessed right, but he had time to see it coming and get down and make the save. I think they might. What's the referee decided here?
Well, he's come off the line. Has he come off the line too early?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to take it again. Oh, he wasn't about to miss a second time. Went the same way, did the same thing. This time, different outcome. France won, Poland won. Robert Lewandowski does it again for Poland.
There's your play of the day. You have to feel for Maignan there. Lewandowski was in the forward motion, but that stutter, Maignan just comes off the line.
Yeah, it's a weird one for me. I'm no expert penalty taker, but I think the theory behind it is you stutter, you hesitate, and you wait for the goalkeeper to move, and then at the last minute you change the side of where the goalie's gone. But Lewandowski doesn't do that. He puts it the same way twice, so I'm not quite sure if he needs to go back to the drawing board with that one.
It's hard enough for the keepers, Mark, as it is.
Yeah, I mean, they made it that they had to have 1 foot on the goal line, which is a difficult thing, because he's trying to anticipate where the ball's going to go, and naturally you're going to go forward off the line, aren't you? And with him checking and hopping and skipping, he's obviously, yeah, you can see it here, he's gone at least a yard off the line, hasn't he?
Very unfortunate, of course. Makes a save, it has to be retaken. You can see just he stutters there, he knows, and, well, still makes a decent save. It wasn't a great first penalty by Lewandowski there, but the coolness, the composure to step up again and put it away just off the post there. It's a nice memory for him to take away from potentially his last international tournament. But frustration for Maignan, because he was almost perfect, 3 from 3 with clean sheets, but not to be. And frustration for Mbappe and co there. But speaking of the other goalkeeper, Skorupski, we spoke about him at half-time, was really important for Poland and continued his good form and had a nice match. Obviously came in to replace Szczesny, was one of 5 changes for Poland, but coming in and putting a very strong display.
Yeah, he did. You know, showed real commitment, made himself big, stood up at the right occasions, made it difficult to get beaten, and that encourages your back fours when you've got a goalkeeper that's in form. You know, probably justified getting selected and made it difficult for France to pass him. You know, it looked like he was possibly going to get a clean sheet. As we said, it took a penalty to beat him, but certainly made some decent saves and, you know, showed his agility and, you know, that classic standing up, making yourself big.
Mark, something to take away for Poland in the end. Obviously a disappointing tournament, one they won't look back on fondly, but a point against one of the tournament favourites.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be really happy that they applied themselves in a game where nobody thought they were going to get anything out of it. You know, they had nothing really to play for other than their pride, and they tested France. And you know, they had opportunities, especially in the second half, to actually go on and win the game. But there's going to be a changing of the guard, I think, in the Polish team, and get some of these youngsters into there now.
Absolutely. Well, obviously that result largely due to this man Skorupski in goal. A fine display. He was one of 5 changes and part of a lot of drama that took place in the match tonight. When we talk about drama, well, there was plenty of it.
Thoughts about Manchester United and Everton. The erstwhile great Manchester United are still seesawing. A draw with Spurs on the 14th of January saw them win 5 straight games, albeit most of them just barely. Then came the awful loss to Fulham on the 24th of February, in which they played a lacklustre game. Then came Sunday's derby, where they lose 1-3 to the current league champions Manchester City, a game where they go a goal ahead, defend brilliantly for 50 minutes, eventually capitulating to the obviously better class of their rival. Regarding the manager Erik ten Hag, there are still many complaints from pundits left and right. The lack of clear sense of direction or style of play, lack or poor quality of man management, and constant poor recruitment of players. Since the 25% takeover of Man United by Jim Ratcliffe, it was hoped that Man United will progress to a more successful direction under his watch. Some pundits even think that Ten Hag might even be replaced come next season. Yet the stats show that he did not do too badly. He managed 61 wins in all competitions in his first 100 games, which actually is better record than either Mikel Arteta with 54 and Jurgen Klopp with 50.
Thoughts on Arsenal and Tottenham? If not for that one-week blip where they lost to Aston Villa and bow out of the Champions League, Arsenal have been by far the most impressive team this season. They have the best defensive record. They blow teams away by huge margin of goals, which leave them with the top goal difference, worth a point at least. Even after that week of disappointment, they are now pretty much faultless. It is not their choice, however. They have to be, because reigning champions Manchester City have games in hand, which if they win all the remaining games, there is nothing Arsenal can do about it. They will be crowned champions for the 4th consecutive time. But the way Arsenal played this season, it will be a shame if they did not win the Premier League.